I'm 92. I still drive. I cook my own meals. I wake up every morning with a clear mind, steady legs, and a full breath of air. And I haven't been sick in over 30 years. Not a cold, not the flu, not once. Now. People hear that and assume I got lucky, but I didn't. The truth is, I made 5 small decisions that changed everything. No pills, no fads, just 5 daily habits that rewired my body and gave me back control. But it didn't start with strength. It started with fear. I was 59 when it all began to unravel. One winter morning, I woke up and everything felt off. My knees ached. My fingers were so stiff I could barely turn the faucet. I shuffled to the bathroom and nearly tripped over my slippers. My brain felt cloudy, like someone had stuffed cotton in my thoughts. I laughed it off. Just getting older, I told myself. But the next week, I forgot where I left my car keys, twice. I skipped my morning walk because my legs felt like cement. I started avoiding stairs. Then came the sinus infections twice that year. That lingering tiredness. That slow slide into fragility. And here's the worst part, I began to accept it. I started believing that this was just life after 60, that maybe I was meant to fade quietly. Then one afternoon, something unexpected happened. My neighbor Mary stopped by. She was 74 and still hiked twice a week. She saw me leaning on the counter, rubbing my knees, and she said something I'll never forget. Your body's not broken. It's just waiting for instructions. Instructions. That word hit me hard. I realized I'd been starting every day by sending my body the same message: slow down, shut off, brace yourself. No wonder I was falling apart. So the next morning, I did something different. I didn't jump out of bed. I stayed put, took a deep breath, wiggled my toes, rotated my ankles. 2 minutes. That's it. But it felt like I flipped a switch. I didn't know it yet. But that tiny change would start a ripple effect, one habit at a time. Over the next few months, I built a foundation that didn't just help me feel better. It helped me feel alive again. Now I'm sharper than I was at 60. My balance is better. My immune system is a fortress. These habits became the 5 anchors of my day. And I believe they can change your life too. Because aging doesn't have to be surrender. It can be a comeback. And it all starts the moment you wake up tomorrow morning. Let me tell you about the first real shift I made, the thing that helped my body feel like mine again. It wasn't exercise. It wasn't a morning run. It was 2 quiet minutes before I even got out of bed. Most people wake up and jump straight into the chaos: emails, coffee, news, movement. But your body isn't ready for that. Not yet. Especially after 60. See? When you wake up, your blood is thicker, your joints are tight, your nervous system is still rebooting, and if you rush it, you start the day in survival mode. That's what I was doing for years without even knowing it. Now I don't move until I signal my body that it's time, before my feet hit the floor. I take 3 slow, deep breaths. Then I stretch my fingers, wiggle my toes, rotate my ankles and wrists in slow circles. That's it. 90 seconds, sometimes less. But that moment, that gentle activation has made all the difference. When I skip it, I feel stiff and foggy. When I do it, I feel centered and aware. It's like flipping on a light switch in your body. Everything brightens. The National Institute on Aging says gentle mobility in the first 30 minutes after waking reduces fall risk. increases circulation, and sharpens your mind for the entire day. Mayo Clinic reports it can even help regulate blood pressure and lower inflammation, all from moving a little before you move a lot. And you don't need to be flexible. You don't need to be athletic. You just need to be present. Even people in their 80s and 90s can do this from bed. I once spoke with a man named Harold at a senior center. He was 85 and said his balance was so bad. He'd stopped walking without help. I asked him how he woke up in the morning. He said, "I just push myself upright and pray I don't fall." I showed him my 2-minute routine. 1 week later, he told me he could stand without grabbing the nightstand. He said, "That little stretch brought my legs back to life." So don't underestimate it. It's not about flexibility. It's about focus. It's about blood flow, awareness, balance. This is where your day begins, not when your feet hit the ground, but when you tell your body it's safe, awake, and ready. Try it tomorrow, before anything else, not even your phone. Just breathe, stretch, rotate, smile, even, and you'll notice your body smiles back. Let me be clear about something up front. I'm not selling you anything. There's no product link, no subscription. I'm not here to push powders or pills. I'm here because I want to give you something that's helped me and could help someone you love. This is for my friends, for anyone who wants to feel just a little better each morning. It's what I call my golden glass. It's the first thing I drink every single day, right after I stretch, before breakfast, before I even think about coffee. It's not a supplement. It's not fancy, and it's not new. It's a simple mix of 3 ingredients in warm water, fresh lemon juice, ground turmeric, and a tiny dash of black pepper. That's it. It takes 2 minutes to make. But the way it makes me feel lasts all day. Let's break it down. The lemon. It's packed with vitamin C, your immune system's best friend. It supports digestion. It wakes up the liver. And it helps the body absorb nutrients more effectively. Since I started drinking lemon water, I haven't felt bloated once. Next, the turmeric. This bright orange root is one of nature's strongest anti-inflammatories. It contains curcumin, which has been shown in studies to reduce joint pain, stiffness, even brain fog. But curcumin is hard to absorb on its own. That's where the black pepper comes in. It contains piperine, an activator. It boosts the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000 shown %. Together, these 3 make what I call my daily reset. And the results? They've been real. 2 weeks after I started, I noticed my joints didn't ache in the morning. My sinuses stayed clear. My energy felt smoother, no more crashing by mid-morning. And over time, I realized something else. I wasn't getting sick. Not just fewer sniffles, nothing. No colds, no flus, no random bugs. And that's held true for over 30 years. A friend of mine, Linda, started doing the same thing. She was in her late 70s, always catching something. Within 3 months, she told me she hadn't felt this good since her 50s. And here's the best part. It costs almost nothing. You probably already have lemons. Turmeric and pepper are in every grocery store. No fancy brands, no shipping, no gimmicks. All you need is a mug, a moment, and a little intention. So tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for coffee first, start with this. Warm water, half a lemon squeezed in, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper. Stir. Sip. Breathe. Give your body something it can use. something that supports, not stresses. And when you take that first sip, just remember you're not just drinking, you're deciding to care, to start fresh, to heal. And you're not alone. I'm right there with you. Let's move on to habit number 3, the healing walk. Not a power walk, not a jog, just a quiet, steady stroll I take every single day, rain or shine. Now, I know that sounds too easy to matter, but let me tell you, this one habit alone has kept my joints loose, my blood flowing, and my mind clear for decades. I used to think walking wasn't real exercise. Back in my 50s, I believed that if I wasn't breaking a sweat, I wasn't doing anything worthwhile. So I ran. I lifted weights. I did everything I thought I needed to stay fit. But by my early 60s, I started to feel more tired after my workouts than before. I had pain in my hips, stiffness in my back, and a sense that I was wearing my body down instead of building it up. One afternoon, I came across a study that changed everything for me. It said that just 20 to 30 minutes of walking a day could reduce inflammation, improve memory, regulate blood sugar, and even lower the risk of death by up to 39%. That stopped me in my tracks. Walking. That's simple, so I gave it a try. No more running. No more overdoing it. I laced up my most comfortable shoes and started walking. 15 minutes. That was my goal. I didn't worry about distance. I didn't track steps. I just walked. Slowly. Intentionally. Breathing in for 4 seconds. Out for 6. Letting my arms swing gently by my sides. Looking up at the trees, feeling the ground under my feet. What surprised me most was how different I felt afterward. My knees didn't hurt. My back relaxed. My shoulders dropped away from my ears. And more than anything else, I felt lighter. Not just in my body, but in my mind. According to the British Journal of Sports Medicine, walking just 20 minutes a day significantly reduces C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation. Another study out of Stanford University found that walking boosts creativity and improves cognitive function more effectively than sitting. It's not just physical, it's mental and emotional. But here's the key, it has to be daily. The benefits don't last if you only walk once or twice a week. Your body needs rhythm. Your nervous system depends on it. Your lymphatic system, which helps flush out toxins, only works when your body moves. That means every step is a way of telling your body, I'm still here. I'm still moving forward. Now, I don't take long hikes. I'm not climbing hills. Some days, I just walk around the block. Other days, it's a loop through the park, but I never skip it. Because I've seen what happens when I do. My legs feel heavy. My thinking slows. My digestion feels off. That daily walk resets everything. I remember one time, about 25 years ago, I skipped my walk for 3 days in a row. Just life things, visitors, bad weather, excuses. On the 4th day, I woke up feeling old. Not tired, not sore, just old. It was like someone had taken the spring out of my step. That morning, I knew walking wasn't optional. It was essential. It was medicine. And let me tell you a little secret. I smile when I walk. Not because I'm always in a great mood, but because the act of smiling activates the vagus nerve. That's the nerve that helps regulate your heartbeat, digestion, and immune response. A smile and a slow walk, 2 of the most underestimated tools for health I've ever discovered. If you've been feeling stuck, stiff, or mentally foggy, don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for perfect weather or the right shoes. Just walk. Open the door. Put one foot in front of the other. Breathe. Smile if you can. Let it become your ritual, your reset button. Because walking isn't just about staying mobile. It's about staying connected to your breath, your thoughts, and the world around you. And in a world that's always rushing, choosing to walk slowly might just be the most radical act of self-care there is. Now, let's talk about habit number 4, what I call my brain and body breakfast. It's not about cutting carbs or counting calories. It's about giving your body what it actually needs to wake up strong, stay sharp, and heal deeply. Because after 60, the way your body uses food completely changes. You don't absorb nutrients the way you used to. You can eat a full plate and still feel like your tank is empty. That's exactly what happened to me until I rethought breakfast from the ground up. Back in my early 60s, I thought I was doing everything right. I ate fruit, whole grain toast, maybe a little cereal with milk. Sounded healthy enough. But by 10:30 I'd crash. My energy would tank. I'd forget where I put my keys, and I'd feel like I needed a nap just to make it to lunch. I figured it was just part of getting older. But one day, during a routine checkup, my doctor said something that changed everything. You're not low on energy. You're low on protein. That stuck with me. Turns out, your body's ability to use protein declines with age. After 60, you actually need more protein, not less, to support your immune system, maintain muscle mass, and fuel your brain. So I changed my approach completely. I created a breakfast that wasn't just filling, it was fueling. Here's what I eat most mornings: a cup of plain Greek yogurt, 1 boiled egg, a handful of walnuts, and a small serving of fresh blueberries. It's simple, quick, and powerful. That meal alone gives me over 25 grams of high-quality protein, plus healthy fats and antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and keep my brain firing on all cylinders. Greek yogurt is a powerhouse. It's loaded with calcium for bones, probiotics for digestion, and complete protein to help rebuild tissue. Eggs, they're nature's multivitamin, packed with all 9 essential amino acids and choline, which supports brain health. Walnuts provide omega-3 fatty acids that reduce joint pain and support heart health. And blueberries, they're loaded with antioxidants that protect your memory and fight free radicals. It's not just a breakfast, it's a strategy. After switching to this breakfast, I stopped having energy crashes. My memory sharpened. I felt more stable, mentally and physically. Even my mood improved. And the best part, it kept me full without feeling heavy. I didn't need coffee to feel awake. I felt ready because my body had the building blocks it needed. This isn't just my experience. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that older adults who consume 25-30 grams of protein at breakfast maintain muscle mass better and live longer, more independent lives. Tufts University found that seniors who get enough protein have stronger immune responses and bounce back faster from illness or surgery. So, it's not just about muscles, it's about resilience. But let me be honest at first. It felt like work. I had to unlearn old habits. I had to stop thinking of toast and jam as a full meal. I had to teach myself to prioritize protein, not just because it sounded healthy, but because it made me feel alive. Over time, it became second nature. And now, on the rare days I skip or change it up, I feel the difference. If I eat a carb-heavy breakfast, I feel sluggish and foggy. But when I give my body this kind of fuel, I stay steady. It's like giving your engine high-octane fuel instead of fumes, and you don't have to eat what I eat. Maybe you prefer scrambled eggs with spinach, or cottage cheese with fruit, or even a protein smoothie with chia seeds and almond butter. The exact recipe doesn't matter. What matters is that you give your body clean, complete proteins and real, whole ingredients that help it thrive. Because breakfast is more than a meal. It's a message. It tells your body what kind of day you expect to have. When you start your morning with intention, your body rises to meet that energy. So tomorrow morning, skip the sugary cereal. Give your body something it can use not just to survive, but to repair, protect, and grow. That one meal can set the tone for everything that follows. And once you feel the difference, you'll never go back. And now, let's move into the final habit, the one most people overlook, but might just be the most important of them all. It's what I call morning visualization. And no, it's not meditation. You don't need incense or a quiet room or any kind of spiritual training. What you need is 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes before the world starts pulling at you. To sit still and picture the kind of day you want to have. It sounds simple, but it has completely rewired the way I experience life. Here's how I do it. I sit down, sometimes still in bed, sometimes in my favorite chair with the morning light coming through the window. I close my eyes. I take a few slow breaths, not trying to control anything, just allowing stillness to settle in. Then I begin to picture the version of me I want to meet today, the version that is calm, steady, kind, unshaken by traffic, unbothered by small annoyances. I imagine walking into my kitchen with ease, smiling as I greet the day, moving through conversations with patience and grace. It's not, now why do I do this? Because science tells us that the brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something actually experienced. Brain scans from researchers at Harvard and neuroscientists like Dr. Joe Dispenza show that visualization activates the same neural pathways as real-life activity. So when you picture yourself being calm, being focused, being resilient, you're not just thinking about it. You're training your brain and body to live it. This practice has become a powerful form of mental tuning for me. It sets the emotional tone for everything that follows. When I skip it, I feel scattered. I react more. I'm quicker to frustration and slower to center myself. But when I do it, I carry that image of steadiness with me through the day. It becomes my anchor. Let me share something personal. Years ago, I had a close friend, Jim, who was about my age. We had similar health backgrounds, similar family lives, even lived in the same neighborhood. But where I started practicing these habits, especially visualization, Jim stayed caught up in the stress of daily life. He was always watching the news, worrying about politics, fretting over his finances. He'd call me every week, venting, pacing, angry at the world. Then one day, he collapsed from a stress-related heart episode. He recovered, also. That conversation stuck with me. Because he was right, worry is a thief. It robs you of clarity, of sleep, of health. And the only way I've found to disarm it is to begin each day with intention. To speak peace to my body before chaos gets a chance to creep in. This isn't about ignoring problems. Life still shows up, bills still come, people still disappoint you. But visualization gives you the internal muscle to handle those things with a different posture. It helps your nervous system stay regulated, your heart rate more stable, your immune system stronger. In fact, a study from the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that people over 65 who practiced daily mental focus for just 5 minutes experienced better immune function, improved attention span, and lower anxiety. And these weren't monks or yogis, just regular folks who took a moment each day to check in with their own inner world. And I believe anyone can do it. You don't have to sit like a statue. You can look out the window. You can sip your tea. You can even just lie there with your hand on your chest and your thoughts in the right place. The point is not perfection. The point is presence. Showing up for yourself before the world gets a say. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone or flip on the news, take 3 minutes. Close your eyes. See the version of you that handles the day with grace. Picture peace. Breathe into it. Because the way you begin is often the way you continue. And if you start with steadiness, life has a way of following suit. These 3 minutes have saved me from myself more times than I can count. And when people ask me how I've stayed well for so long, I tell them this: it's not just what I put in my body, it's what I give my mind. And peace, it turns out, is the best medicine I've ever known. So now you know. These 5 small habits: the morning stretch, the golden glass, the healing walk, the brain and body breakfast, and 3 minutes of quiet visualization have carried me through more than 3 decades of strength, clarity, and good health. They didn't require special equipment, a gym membership, or a doctor's prescription. Just small acts of care repeated every single day. What I've learned after 92 years on this planet is that health doesn't disappear all at once. It fades quietly, in the choices we stop making. But the same is true for healing. It comes back the same way through the quiet. Repeated moments where we show up for ourselves, and when we show up with intention. Even in the smallest ways, our bodies respond. There were times I almost gave up. Mornings when I didn't feel like stretching, when my walk felt more like a chore than a gift. But I kept going. Not because it was always easy, but because I remembered the alternative. A life where I felt trapped in my own body. And I never wanted to go back to that. If you've been thinking it's too late to change, I want you to hear me loud and clear. It's not. You're still here. And that means there's still time to start. Not tomorrow. Not next week. But now. Because the best time to begin is the moment you realize you still can. Your age isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It's shown you what matters. And now it's offering you the chance to protect it. You don't need to do it all at once. Just start with one habit. 1 glass of warm lemon water. 1 walk around the block. 1 mindful breath. Your body will notice, your spirit will respond. You'll find that clarity returns, that stiffness softens, that energy slowly but surely rebuilds, and step by step, you'll begin to feel what I feel today, not just older, but wiser, stronger, and more alive than ever. There's a quiet power in deciding to care for yourself, especially when no one's watching. So let this be your beginning. Not the end of something, but the start of something lasting, something healing, something entirely yours. Oh, and before we part ways, there's one last thing I haven't told you. It's the quietest habit of them all, the one I do every night before bed. I believe it's what helps my body repair while I sleep and keeps my mind young through the darkest hours. It's simple, powerful, and most people have never heard of it. But I'll share that with you next time.